What's up? What's up? How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, what's the name?
9 Ounces of Terror. I'm the artist formerly known as Res 47.
That's what's up. What's the craft?
Street art.
Nice. How long have you been doing graffiti and street art and other forms of art?
12 years now. 13 years now.
Nice. How'd you start? Let's get into it.
It's funny because me and my buddy before this were just talking about this. It actually all started in his backyard, and we made stencils. We used to look at like Banksy when we were growing up and stuff, and we wanted to be just like him. So we started making stencils, and it turned into a teardrop with like a little like spray can cut on the top of it. We walked around with a spray can and just sprayed it everywhere, and I fell in love with it. More so, like, none of the people that I grew up with that I paint with now are not the same people. Like, all my friends gave up on it. It was just something that, it was a release.
And you just kept going.
And it kept going. It felt good. It kept me out of trouble. Well, as much as street art keeps you out of trouble, but
Into that.
I could, you know what I mean? But it's like I could have been in prison or something like that, but I was on the tracks, you know what I mean? I wasn't like doing what everyone else is doing, pretty much. I was by myself on painting tunnels, tracks, rooftops, anything to get our hands on.
What age do you think you did like one of your first big pieces?
14.
Okay. What did you do? What did you think? Or what was it?
It was baby blue with a green outline. I had no idea what I was doing. Color schemes were not there, and I still struggle to this day with color schemes. You'll see that in my pieces. It was in a tunnel right there, literally right by Bonanza High School. There's a tunnel over there in the park across the street.
So you're born and raised from Vegas?
Born and raised.
Nice, bro. Same.
Yeah.
So what's up? What part of Vegas did you grow up?
Central, right there. I'm just right there in the middle, right by Pal Station area.
Okay. I grew up more Henderson, then moved up to Vegas when I was about 16.
When my family moved here from New York, we moved into a little neighborhood called Sherwood Street. And that's the hood. I grew up there till I was like 5 years old.
Okay.
And then we moved out. My dad finally bought a house. I've lived in Vegas my whole life. I tried to leave, but the dust balls brought me back.
I lived in Pittman and Henderson, and then I tried to leave a few times, but every time I'm only gone for 6 months, and I come back. I love it here.
It's home. There's no place in the world like this place.
No, the weather's pretty good. You know, it's not too bad, but
it's home, man.
So let's talk about like how did you come up with your name?
A drunk mistake.
Okay.
Me and a bunch of writers and my girl were all sitting around, and I was just like, man, I want to make a company. I want to start showcasing my art. And it was going to start with YouTube, Res 47 Productions. You can find it. There's no videos on it yet, though. We were going to start making videos, street live videos, and just go hard with it. And it turned into so much more than that. The idea of people wanting to wear my art, wanting to wear my designs. It wasn't even about the money. It wasn't even about people knowing who I am. Obviously, I don't want people to know who I am, but I want people to know my art. Walking down the street and to be like, hey man, that guy's wearing my shirt. That's cool. Like if I could give everything away for free, you know what I mean? It's just the feeling of people embracing my art was an outlet that I never got in like school as a kid and shit like that. Like nobody, like I wasn't I liked being the class clown, but I never stood out like that. And to have that feeling where I can make something and people are top, you know what I mean? They love it. It just makes me happy. And with street art, I get the vulgar effect of it, where I piss certain people off, and it's in your face. You have no choice but to look at it. Like, that's what I love about it. Like, it's guerrilla warfare to me, and I love it. Like, In Decline, all them guys Aware, big names that I grew up with inspired me to become the artist that I am today.
Let's talk about your biggest piece.
The skull?
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of stuff went on to that. So the skull that everyone sees today is not the original.
What is he talking about for reference?
So the Aware skull, which everyone knows, the Aware artist, he died about a year ago. Painted for In Decline. Very well-known artist. I suggest you look for him. There's aware_In Decline on Instagram. Big influence for me. So much where when I heard that he left us, I started to cry. And I've never met this man before in my life. But for his art to push me from where I am today was such a giant impact that I had to show how much he inspired me. You know what I mean? So I looked at her, I looked at my girlfriend, and I looked at Prophet Apparel, Zach from Prophet Apparel, and I was like, we need to do something. And they thought I was crazy. They're like, what are you gonna go do this for? Like, you never even met the guy before. Like, why? Like, why even spend the time to do it? Just, I don't know. I felt like I had to go do it. It was something that, it was more than me, more than anything I ever thought of. I've never even did my own name that big. You know what I mean? So, put all the money aside, went and got all the paint, and we drove out there one night. Just 10 hours straight work. I will never go do a roller on the floor ever again. Never again. My neck was destroyed. It took so long, 4 people, it took so long that we gave up. 2 people gave up, and then 2 other people had to keep going. And it was harsh. It was really harsh, but we got it done, and we were so proud of it. Now, this is the first skull. We were so proud of it. You know what I mean? It was 275 feet wide. You know. 4 months go by, maybe not even that. Little time goes by, and I get a tag on Instagram, and somebody said somebody's covering the skull, and it was only halfway done. It was a black circle around the skull. It was only halfway done, so I kept my eyes on it, watching through hashtags, Wheel of Misfortune, just looking. And eventually it got completely black, just a black circle. I had an artist, Josh, he started taking pictures of the guys there. It was like 10 of them doing this whole circle. And we went out there one night and we seen what it was, and it was the Homo sapiens symbol from Hieroglyphics rap group from the 90s and the 80s. And I didn't know what to do. I almost had a mental breakdown because of how hard it hit. You know, like, you completely covered something that you know what I mean? And I was just like, damn.
There's other circles.
I was like,
bro, we can talk about that. There's 4 other circles, or 3, at least 3 other circles.
yeah, and I was like,
You have a whole skate park circle, bro. You have a whole basketball circle, bro. You didn't have to touch that circle.
and it amazed us. You know, I looked at and I wasn't planning on going to fix it. I was a couple of the guys, a couple of my buddies, I was Aware's good at friends. Just like, man, it is what it is. It's graffiti. It's gone. You know what I mean? It was there. It's made its name. It's there. Everyone knew it was there. You know,
and so that honestly has a lot of power to say itself.
And so I was gonna let it go. You know what I mean? And I started getting in contact with his brothers, not blood brothers, but just friends, and they were really pissed off about it. More so, is like they felt like it was disrespecting him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he passed.
Me, Toxic, Sorry, and my girl, we all went out. We all got together and talked about it. Actually, when we were doing the train at Crank and Grind, and we're like, let's do this. Let's go fix it. So Sorry is the one that came up with the negative outline because it was already black and there was a big white circle around it. So we were just like, all right, cool, white outline, let's do it. Went out there, fixed it, and nobody's ever messed with it ever again. And that's what the skull you see now is, the black negative aware skull. In my opinion, even with all the work that we did on the first one, it looks way better now.
With the black. I agree with that. I actually thought the first time I thought you didn't finish.
No.
So I thought you went back. So I'm glad that I got to hear this story.
Yeah, no, they completely covered it. If you go there now and you look towards the bottom of the jawline, you can see my original skull still. You can see the edge of this jawline, the edge of the jawline, and the bottom of the mouth. That's all you can see. But it's there, and it'll always be there. And we got some more plans coming very, very soon. You have my word on that.
Yeah, I saw when Eros hit and passed at the side of that building, and then like 3 weeks later they browned it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, they actually got permission for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys just browned it. So let's talk more about, just graffiti in itself and the lifestyle and like, how much it means to you.
I've never been able to answer that question because it's something that I would never let go of. But at the same time, it's something that I've done this my whole life. Well, as I was able to get out, you know what I mean, as a kid. So it's kind of hard to say I wouldn't see myself ever not doing it. You know what I mean? More of it's not a hobby. It's not.
It's an addiction.
It's not even an addiction.
Okay.
It's a way of life for me, pretty much. Like, I could have a marker in my pocket at all times, and I'll be 65 years old, but I'm gonna write on something. It's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's a passion. You know what I mean? You don't have to be the best artist in the world to love this thing. You know what I mean? But if you're out there and you're doing work and people know who you are, your name is in people's mouth, I feel like you're good or bad. In this game, you never know. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's a way to get away from the world, and it's a way to just piss people off without pissing them off in the face. You know what I mean? Kind of.
How did you take something that pisses people off and bring it to Graffiti Park?
Because beauty is disaster, and sometimes everybody needs disaster to have something beautiful. So why not invite disaster in? You know what I mean? Why not have that yin and yang effect? You know what I mean? There's beautiful artists. Graffiti Park has some of the best artists in Vegas. And then you got the guys that are just street artists, and that's the grime, and then there's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? You have the hardcore part, and a lot of people still love that hardcore graph feel. You know what I mean? And it's amazing where you can go to a company and be like, hey, I want this hardcore feel, or I want this really beautiful, elegant feel, or you can pull an artist in here and we're here. You know what I mean? There's so many rounds of us. You know what I mean? So it's where I feel like I fit in, because I'm I'm part of that disaster that keeps everything going.
What does Graffiti Park mean to you?
Something that no one's ever offered me a chance to progress with other artists like myself, to push myself to be better, to actually have people that like what I do, where I don't have to wear my mask around them and I can be myself. That's what it is. I don't have to be the best artist in their eyes for them to actually appreciate my art. And that's really hard to find nowadays. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like when it comes to commission work and stuff like that, people in my shoes, like, we're just street artists. We're strictly just grime on in-your-face street art, so it's hard for us to find spots. Like, it's hard for us to get commission jobs because not many, you know what I mean? City they want professional looking stuff.
Yeah, someone
you know?
that walks in and
But Graffiti Park allows us to find spots and opportunities where we can shine in our own spots, you know what I mean? Nowhere else can do that. You can go to any other paint company, any other circle of painters in the world and artists in the world, but you have to be to a certain level to be with those people. Here at Graffiti Park, you can start at the lowest level, but by the end of the year, you might be the best you've ever been. And it's not because you have to be that way. It's because everybody here in this building makes it happen for you. They push you, they give you that drive, and it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. In my opinion, that's beautiful because, like I said, you can't find that no more. It's hard to find that nowadays. Like I said, I get shunned for my art all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I try to get side jobs to go paint. So, but people don't want graffiti. There's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I feel you. A question we love to ask is like, what do you envision Graffiti Park growing into?
something that, I mean, it's hard to explain. See something better than it's already, you know what I mean? It's already amazing. So it's like anywhere farther up from here is like, whoo, you know what I mean? So it's like, the biggest thing I think I see Graffiti Park doing is opening a space for an open paint ground for Vegas again. We need it. We need an open spot again. And I feel like Graffiti Park is the one to do it. You know what I mean? Because they're so for the community. They're so for helping, like I said, they're so for helping artists like us. You know what I mean? So that's what I see them owning and running a whole, even if it's like a warehouse, like a whole spot where you could just come and go crazy. You know what I mean? Just go down, get down. I honestly see nothing but up for this company. Just like Raw Papers, that guy's the happiest person in the world. But he makes a product for everybody, and it's a positive thing for everybody. And I compare that to Graffiti Park. They're made here to help us. Nothing here is to profit off of us. There's no I need you and I'm making myself look better because of your skill. No, there ain't none of that here. They're pumping the artist, you know what I mean? And that's the best part about this place, in my opinion.
What's your favorite piece that you've done for Graffiti Park, if you had to think?
I think maybe my Bird of Paradise flower that I recently did. I can't remember what school it was. We did a bunch of flower schemes. But I did a giant flower, a Bird of Paradise, and I think it's beautiful. And I did the shading perfect on it. Like I said, my color schemes are off sometimes, but I'm getting there.
So with that being said, did Graffiti Park push you to do things that you would have never done on the street?
Yes. It's gotten me out of my street element. Because before Graffiti Park, it was just street. It was how much can I put my name up? How can I scratch my name into this window so they can't move it? You know what I mean? It was just all about vandalism. Now it's more like, how can I paint this flower? You know what I mean? Or it's like, how can I paint this piece? Like,
Is there something that you want to paint that you've been like recently, or something that you've been wanting to paint for a long time?
Yeah, I have this what is it called? Brain fart. Gremlin that I've been working on. My girl's been begging me. She really wants me to do it. I have this little tiny gremlin eating popcorn. And it's on the edge of a res piece, but I just haven't ever been able to paint it. But yeah, really, I want to paint it. I think it's gonna be something soon. I've been having a lot more opportunities to paint. We just got doing a boxing gym, and that piece came out great. In my opinion, that's my favorite piece I've did so far with my name.
Being in different elements like the boxing gym, being in the elementary schools, or being on the street, Do you ever feel like a different energy when you're painting?
When I paint on the streets, it's more or less for me to be alone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I get asked all the time from different artists, like Vague and all of them, Mog and all of them, if we want to go paint. And I don't know why, but I've always been like more or less go out by myself. You know what I mean? It was more or less, I like just to be by myself when I paint. It was more like, people like to go fishing, perfect example. People like to go fishing, right?
Yeah.
Everything's quiet. That's how I like it. When I go painting, everything's quiet. I don't want to have to run, and then the homie fall, and then I gotta stop. As bad as that sounds, as I don't want to have to worry about my family or my friends getting in trouble with me. If I'm gonna get in trouble, it's gonna be on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to bring anyone. Everyone knows the rules. You're painting. It is what it is. But for me, it's just like, I don't want to bring anyone in that situation with me, because if I'm gonna go paint, I'm gonna go paint, and it's probably gonna be raw daylight right in front of people, and it's like, it's not. It's just how I'd like that adrenaline rush.
No, I've seen some people refill. We're just walking down the street, and I'm like, yo, chill, bro. It's just like, no, let me hit this real quick. I'm like, that's a concrete truck. You can't do that.
Like on the freeways, hearing the cars honk at you and stuff, like you get that little tingle, like, ooh. But that's what it is. I think it's just that adrenaline rush. It's that knowing, that feeling like, yeah, you're mad. you don't like this.
I see, like, you work, or I don't know if you work with Indecline, but I know that you mess with them a lot. Is there any, like, pieces that you want to do that, like, political standouts, or is it, like, just, like, more in your face with your raw graffiti?
So I am not associated with Indecline. I am very good friends with some of the members, but I'm not associated with them. And as a political statement, for what I am, you know, I love Indecline. I follow everything that they do, but for political reasons, I stay out of political stuff.
I can completely understand that.
I'm satanic and anarchist, so I don't believe in any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's more or less, I kind of try to stay away from that stuff, because even if I do have like my own opinion about it, it's my opinion. No one really gives a shit, because no one really gives a shit. So, and that's what it is. Like, everybody nowadays, I feel like everybody nowadays is so, their minds are so stuck on political and stuff going on right now, because that's what's crazy going on right now. You know what I mean? But I feel like everybody needs to stray away from that.
So, with you doing art, I know I've seen you do, like, you know, what is the difference between res and 9 outs?
So res is, that's me. That's who I am. That's who I've become. 9 ounce is my baby, but it's my professional side.
Okay.
It's a side that I've never knew I had. My girlfriend has been a big support through it all, and she's more of the reason why I still continue to do it, because I'm really hard on myself about it. You know what I mean? But it's a beautiful thing, and I love it, and I'll never give up on it. But it's my professional side. It's a side that I can be professional, but it's still who I am. You know what I mean? It's still my art. It's still my street, because that's what it is. That's all anybody knows 9 ounce to be, is on the street. You know what I mean? So, and now that we're trademarked, like, nobody gonna stop me.
Are you gonna, like, I've always envisioned you having your own, like, my vision was always 9 ounce spray cans. That's always what I remember.
That's an idea. But I don't think that's gonna be anything anytime soon. More or less, I just want to stick to the art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More or less, just want to stick to what I'm good at. You know what I mean? And plus, it's hard to compete with spray paint nowadays.
Oh yeah, no, I was like, what is 9 ounce? Like, how did you come up with that idea? Or was it like you were drinking something that was a 9 ounce bottle, or what was it?
We're going there.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. No, it's good. It's good.
I'm
Because
sorry.
people are always confused about it. So let's just clear it up. So 9 Ounce started on a drunk night. The name did, because it was going to be a lot of things. We're not going to talk about those because those still might be ideas. You know,
don't want to give away too much.
So I was super drunk, and for some reason, I thought 9 ounces was a spray can. It's not. It's 12.
Okay.
And if anybody from Vegas, born and raised in the graph scene, they know what 12 ounce profit is. That used to be a website, and it used to fucking show everybody in Vegas getting down. This is during the MySpace days. All right, it's still around, but they don't do it. You have to download files to look at the pictures and stuff. Like, it's encrypted and stuff like that. It's not worth it. But yeah, so I was just like, man, I want to make something that's like Vegas based. You know what I mean? Something that would like a spray can. Because that's what 9 Ounce was. That's what it was becoming. It was for street art. So it was a spray can. So anything that was associated around spray paint. So instead of having 12, so it was gonna be 9 ounce LV, it was just gonna stay 9 ounce. But I wanted, it was like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what is that? That's stupid. So the Terror came on, and I liked it. Rolled off my tongue. Stuck with it. Cool. Hell yeah. 9 ounces of Terror. Let's run it. Didn't realize I'm stupid and that I'm saying the wrong shit. But it's stuck. It's like, what rolls off your tongue better? 12 ounces of Terror or 9 ounces of Terror? 9 ounces of Terror. Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? I gotta fix this. Because now I look stupid. So then I started doing research. Well, there's only 9 fluid ounces in a Molotov. So I ran with it.
Hey, I was always wondering, I was wondering where the flame came from.
So after figuring out my mix-up.
So that's even better.
Yeah.
Like, that's a random thing, but it ended up becoming like...
Yeah. That's where the label was born. It was a Molotov. And it fit perfect because everyone just loves the logo. It's simple, but you know what it is. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't see myself ever changing the logo. I think it's where it's at. You know what I mean? I'm proud of it. When I first made it, I wasn't too sure about it. But then people loved it.
Yeah, I like it. I always thought it was dope.
Yeah, everyone loves it. I've had nothing but good, comments about it. Like, it's simple, but we know what it is. You know what I mean? I'm proud of it.
All right, man. Well, is there any shout outs you want to do before we close out?
Man, I'll be here forever. Graffiti Park, for sure, for even having me here. It's a big, big, big thank you to them. I wouldn't be the artist that I am today without them. I'd still just be a street artist, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't have the privilege to have my art displayed out for children of Las Vegas, our future. And that puts like a warm heart, a warm spot in that black heart of mine, you know what I mean? So
almost like the Grinch.
Yeah. So I want a big shout out to them, because without any of this, I don't think 9 ounce would be a thing. You know what I mean? So thank you guys. Thank you everything you guys do for our community. Big shout out to my girlfriend Daisy. She's the only reason why you guys still see me sitting here with a mask on, because I don't think I would have continued this without her pushing me the way she does. Omerta from Profit Apparel, man, that's my boy. And he's my biggest fucking fan, when it comes to my art. So I want to thank him. And then everybody at Graffiti Park, every artist that I've ever come in contact with. Not gonna, like I said, I'll be here forever. But thank you guys. Thank you for rocking with me, and thank you for supporting 9 ounce. And I hope after this, you guys can actually see that it's not about the fame and the fortune, it's just about the art. And that's how it's always supposed to be. And aware forever. I'll say it in every podcast, every show, everything I do, every piece. Aware forever, man. Rest in peace, buddy. Love you.
There we go.